Hi everybody, welcome back, welcome to my channel. So today's look is going to be this. I've just created this. I'm going out this evening for a pre-birthday meal and I thought I wanted something a little bit different but to go really glam. So if you enjoy these sort of looks and you think you might want to recreate this sort of thing, then please keep on watching and see how I create it. I hope you enjoy it and I'll see you soon. Okay, so today's look is going to be very much a blown out blue smoky eye. I really like blue eyes on most people really, but on myself I do like a nice blue. I've started my brows already and I've prepped my face and my eye base. So to prep my face I've used the Becca Backlight Primer and that is in the blue pot. I do only have a sample pot, so I've literally just run out of that, but it was that one. It gives a really nice dew to the skin. And I have just done a facial as well, so I've got like a nice flushed appearance to my skin. I used the face mask by Body Shop. It was a clearing mask. I'll link it down below. So basically it was for open pores, refining, so making the skin feel more refreshed, cleansed and nourished, which is what we all want. So yeah, if you're liking the way my skin looks, then yeah, definitely try those products. I have used MAC's Cream Colour Base Hush, which is like a really nice pearlized highlight shade. So it comes in a little pot like that, and it's a cream base, and I've just pressed it into my skin. I have just moisturised as well, so the dew of my skin will calm down. I would always give it a couple of minutes before you go into your foundation, just because you want it to set and you don't want to get any cracks in your face, which it can happen if you don't set your base before your foundation. So you can see it just leaves a really nice dew on the skin. I'm wanting to go for a nice dewy finish today, so here we go. I'm going to start with foundation today, which is different for me, but as long as you set your under eye makeup and your skin, you should be fine. As long as you've set those areas and you've got lots of powder on the skin, any fallout will just blow away anyway. So yeah, so we're good to go. So I'm really liking these foundations at the moment actually. CoverFX, the Total Cover Cream Foundation, I'm using G40, that's the shade. Looks like this. And G40 is for somebody who likes more of a yellow base. So I do like more of a yellow undertone in my skin. The way I've been applying is with a beauty blender. What I do is I just push my beauty blender into the cream and then just pat it on the skin. Another foundation I've really been liking at the moment is the foundation by Hourglass, the Hydra Veil, which comes in a stick form. This one, however, is the wrong shade for me. It's extremely yellow, as you can see, and it's a little bit too yellow. Yeah, so I like to tan my body but not my face, purely because I get breakouts. Sometimes I do, but I will break out. So yeah, personal preference is just to use foundation because I don't really want spots everywhere. Who the heck does? So anyway, I'm going to get on and do that. Using a beauty blender that is damp is usually my preference with the CoverFX. So with a damp beauty blender, this is a Nancy, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that is what it's called. I picked this up for about £5 from TK Maxx. It was actually on discount, so I've heard that it's meant to be quite good, so here it goes. So I've just sprayed my brush with Fix Plus. You can use just a damp beauty blender, but I just wanted to dampen it with Fix Plus. And then I'm just going to go in and start stippling. I like the cover. It's a really full cover foundation, which, as we all know, I like a full cover, and I know a lot of people do. I always like to start around my chin. I don't know why. I don't know why. You can start wherever, or I think it's preference to start in the centre and work my way out. So pushing that all into the skin. Okay, foundation's on. In the camera it does look, again, very yellow in comparison to my neck. I have just false tanned. It's the kind of tan that you leave on for 6 hours and then you wash off. And Lord knows the colour of that. So please don't think that I'm going to go like repping this kind of dirty skin look. It is actually, it's a wash off one. So when it washes off it leaves a nice colour. And I do like a yellow foundation. Obviously, if you are feeling that as well, so you've got yourself a yellowish tone and you're thinking actually it's too yellow, once you've contoured, if you're going to contour or if you've warmed up the skin, it all starts to blend nicely. It's just got that undertone that takes away any sort of pinkness in the skin. Okay, so with the Hourglass Hydra Veil, I'm just being extra. You really don't need 2 foundations, but I love both of these foundations. So I'm just going to take the stick and I'm going to warm through the skin slightly, and I'm going to take it obviously through the centre of my ear where my contour would start, and down the sides of my nose, and then blend that again with your Nancy brush, whatever brush you've got. Ideally this would probably be a darker shade if you wanted to use it as a contour, but I'm just using it to add a little bit of depth. So when using a concealer you want to use a lighter shade, ideally if you're wanting it for brightness. So I really like the Naked Skin in Light Warm. I also like it in Fair Neutral, but I don't have any at the moment. Instead I'm using the Lumi concealer by L'Oreal. This has got a really nice light shade and it's a good concealer as well, to be honest, for less money. It is quite good, gives a good cover, it leaves a really nice brightness under the eye. However, I do prefer this one slightly. It's just, for me personally, it leaves a better finish, but just because I do want extra lightness, I'm going to do a couple of lines of this, and then I'm going to go over with my Light Warm concealer, taking it just through the inner corner. You really want to get that darkness that's held just underneath there. So once I add light to my face, I like to start to warm the face up. I'm taking my Anastasia Contour Cream Kit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Nude, Cinnamon and Chocolate, and I've sprayed them with my Fix Plus. And with Nude and Chocolate, I'm just going to grab a flat synthetic brush. Any will do. I'm using the MAC 615, and I'm just going to go into those 2 darker shades and place them where I want them, and then when it comes to blending them out, they're already where they need to be. So I head for the centre of my ear personally. That works well for me. And take it about there. Taking a damp beauty blender. I find it works better damp because these products are quite dense, so it takes quite a bit of working in the skin if it is dry. So I'm taking it damp and I'm just simply patting over. And then you can work in any other areas that you want. So for me, I'm going to go for tops of your head is a good one, because you want there to be like sun's naturally hitting on the skin. Obviously this is good for people who have got, like, everyone's got issues with certain parts of the face, we all do. So some people don't like the forehead, or I don't know, things like that. So you could, if you wanted to, do this. Again, people with nose, I don't particularly, I'm not bothered about my nose, but I still quite like to contour because it just gives an overall polished and really fresh look. So you can see the difference. So I've done one side just so you can see. I really like the way it looks. It just warms and chisels the face without looking too heavy. If you like it looking heavy, then go for it. If you want it to be stronger, then you can. All you want to do is just intensify and keep going through it. I personally like to start with a contour and then you can warm up with powder and things like that, so you get more of a natural look. Whilst I was doing that, I've used my Laura Mercier powder and I've just gone underneath my eyes. I've used the number 1. It's the lightest one. So if you're quite creasy under the eyes like me, then you're going to want to set it with powder before you finish the rest of the face, because concealer can sit into the lines quite a bit, so we don't want that. I don't want lines in my eyes. So I've just set that with some powder. Yeah, so you don't want any lines under your eyes, so I would suggest, if you are quite liney like me, then just get any, you know, it doesn't have to be the Laura Mercier. You can use any translucent powder just to set it in place, otherwise your creases are going to happen and it's going to be too late to set them. So you want to work quicker rather than later when it comes to your concealer under your eyes. So now you can see what I mean by it's the colours are starting to come together, so I'm not just looking all one colour. When you've got your contour in place, it does help to bring everything together. Okay, so when you're happy with all the cream products that they're, you know, where they need to be in this set, you can go in and use your powder just to make sure it sets in place, locks it in and stops any dewiness from coming out. I like a dew, but I often find that my centre area needs setting, really. And if you're going to go in with a powder product, you need to set with powder, otherwise it's not going to blend very well. So I'm going in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. That's definitely been the favourite for me recently. I've been absolutely loving it. It sets your makeup, it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel dry. So I definitely would recommend it. It's not cheap, it's not the cheapest one on the market. I do like the HD Pro one by not Makeup Forever, I think it's a Forever Makeup, the other way around. It's quite cheap and it's like a banana powder, it's really good. So yeah, I'm going to set everything with this. So you just want a small amount on your brush. I am using the Urban Decay powder blending brush. Yeah, I'm going to tap any excess off and I'm just going to stipple. I love to stipple. It locks everything in much nicer. Yeah, so if you're umming and ahhing about this product, I definitely would. I definitely would invest, because you only need a small amount as well, so it is going to last. I must say, with the powder that I was just talking about, the Forever company, it is really good, but I'm running out of it quicker. And I suppose that's the thing with when you're spending a little bit more money, you know that they're going to last, or at least you hope that they're going to. I always found around the nose for me is the place that foundation usually decides to go missing. So you don't want to take away the glow, that's the thing. With the foundation I was using, it was very dewy, but you still want to lock it in. So it's the thing with a dewy foundation is it's more likely to come off, so you do need to set it in with your powder. So now it's time to powder contour. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills. As always, this is my go-to contour palette. I just find the shades are just right for contouring, really. And yeah, so I'm going in with the number 7 contour and highlight brush. This one's really nice because it's got a real steady edge, so you can get in there and blend it out as well without it looking too choppy. So I'm just going to go over where we've just placed the cream lightly. And then I'm just going to take it a little bit higher. Making sure to get the jawline. Now that's the shade that's going to help to blend the face with the neck, because as I was saying, my foundation was rather yellow, especially on camera. Now you're starting to see that the bronze is actually starting to make it come together. it's not as yellow once you've got all the components on. So it's actually my birthday tomorrow, so I'm going out this evening, hence why we're going for the full shebang. So yeah, let me know if you have any sort of birthday glam ideas, because I just think on your birthday everybody wants to feel super glam and super at their best. And this for me is like full glamour look is when I feel my best, if I'm honest. I do like to feel quite natural some days, but ideally if I had time to do like a full sculpt every day, I probably would. I find myself feeling better. And that's what it is. It's all about confidence and how you feel. I always hear people say, oh, you know, why are you wearing so much makeup, or why do girls wear so much makeup? Really is just a self-expression and, you know, what you want to do. It's not about what anyone else thinks. I think there's definitely, I always feel like, you know, should I be wearing this amount of makeup? And then I'm thinking, well, you know what? Who cares? If I want to wear this much makeup, I'll wear it. And so should you. Okay, so just making sure, I'm pulling my hair back because you want to make sure that you're getting right into the hairline as well. We don't want any white bits showing. So everything is blended. Sides of the nose. Okay, so now you can go in and warm the skin and start to add blusher and things like that if you want to. I'm a big blusher gal. I love to wear blusher. It's a difference between me looking, you know, just one tone and looking more alive. So yeah, I hardly ever pull for these palettes, and I don't know why. I think it's, I mean, I've got a lot of makeup, I must say, so I think when you are so used to getting new makeup, you use whatever you have previously bought, and then you forget about the good stuff that you've, you know, had for ages. As you can see, I've hardly used it. This is a Morphe blush palette. Pretty, pretty, pretties, and that's the 10B. It's quite old, so, I mean, I'm sure they still have it, but who knows. So I'm going to try and stick with the sort of bronzy look, but add a little pop of colour as well. So I'm going to go for this pretty shade. Yeah, that one. And I'm going to add that just onto the apples of my cheek. This was a really cheap brush, as you can see. I mean, I don't know where I got it from, or I've had it for a long time, but it really does the job when I'm putting blusher on. I really like it. So it doesn't matter how much it costs or where it was from, it's good. Okay, so I'm going to pop that just on the apples and push that back towards. Ooh, I like it. It's pretty. See what I mean about no blush and blush? I just think it's really nice. No highlighter. So I'm going for MAC Soft and Gentle, which is a really nice sort of golden glow. And we all know I love a golden glow. So if you've not used one of MAC's mineralised skin finishes before, I would, because they are really nice. Really nice. So I've just sprayed my brush. The Morphe M501 brush is really, really good for contour. So I've just let the Fix Plus settle on the brush a little. And then I'm going to go in over the top of the skin finish. And gently blend into the skin. I personally do like quite a bit of a highlight, so I do tend to go over it, but if you like it more gentle and soft, like the name of the highlighter, then you will love this, because it is still quite natural. It doesn't look overdone. It just leaves that nice glow to the skin, which is so in at the moment. Taking Becca's champagne, oh, it's not champagne pop, it's Prosecco pop. It's the newest one that she did, and it looks like this. So it's a really nice yellowy gold, which I think will look nice just on top of this. I'm just going to press into the Cupid's bow, and then I'm just going to take a tiny, tiny little bit through the centre. Ooh, girl! I know it's super annoying when people do that. Okay, so now for the eyes, we are going to start with, it's an inglot shadow, and the number is 369, and it looks like this. And if I haven't told you how good inglot shadows are, then I'm telling you now, they are so, so good. Like, really, really nice. So I'm taking a flat-headed brush, and I'm going to start packing that in to the eye socket, and then I'm going to blend it up quite high because I want that to be the sort of transition shade, so the really nice shade that we can see coming through when everything's finished. So it's going to look somewhat like this. So I've literally just packed it on, and now I'm going to take a fluffy headed brush. I'm taking the Urban Decay E209. It's a really tight line fluffy brush, so it's good for getting in the creases but packing product where you want it, basically. And now I'm just going to take that up slightly higher because I do want this shade to still be present when I've added a more deeper blow. So taking it through the top like so. I want it to be quite rounded, still however quite blown out, but I want that really round shape to be cut in. So I'm going to start by going through the top corners and just making sure it's nice and high and round. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking that same blue and I'm making a circle. So I'm making sure it is still nice and blown out, but I'm making sure it's going underneath my eye as well, because we want to see this when we've gone in with our darker blue shade. Okay, so what you want to do is take your brush into velocity and just start working through the crease to make sure it blends nicely. Taking it underneath, back and forth and in circular motions. Taking a really dark blue shade, so I'm taking this one out of the Morphe palette, and I'm just going to start to build some depth up in the outer crease. So I've taken a pencil brush, I think this was a Morphe one, I'm just tapping off my brush and creating myself a C. And you just want to pack it in. To this outer corner. So now I'm going to add some glitter. So I'm taking my Midnight Cowboy by Urban Decay, and I'm just dipping that into my MAC glitter. It is 3D silver, and it looks like that. And I'm just going to, ooh, in fact, or should I do it with, change of mind actually. I'm going to use my amp, which is blue, which makes more sense, and I'm going to dip that into the silver, and I'm just going to place that where I want it. That's the good thing with these, there's no dropout. Obviously with the loose glitter there is no dropout, so you can just place it wherever you want to. So it would be pretty pretties. So what I'm going to do is continue to dip that in and take it to a nice cut crease. So unfortunately my camera died on me, so I've done a few bits. Obviously you don't need to see me putting lipstick on, so I've done my lips. It is my absolute favourite combination at the minute, regardless of what look I've done. I just absolutely love it. So I line my lips with Conspiracy, which is a really dark brown shade by Urban Decay, and that is the lip liner. I've gone over with Jefree Star in Celebrity Skin, which is a really, really nice nude. I'll swatch it for you. It's really, really pretty shade. And then once that has dried, I've just done a slight ombre in the middle of my lips, and I'm using Barfly, which is a cream lipstick by Urban Decay, and it's a really, really nice cream texture, and it's a really nice nude as well. So that is the lip combination. You can add a little bit of gloss on top if you want to. I probably will, because, you know, I like to go all out. Either Naked lip gloss in Freestyle, which is this really nice gold undertone. My swatches are horrendous. And then there's this Kiko. It doesn't really show up, so I'll just show you like that. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So they both look quite nice. I'll probably add that on. Let's show you Freestyle so you can see. I've got a thing about just popping it in the centre of my lips. I don't know why, but I think it probably makes them feel more plump. That's the feeling it gives me anyway. So as you can see, I've popped on the glitter as I said I would. In fact, I showed you that part. Yeah, so you saw me popping on the glitter. Now, the eye pencil that I used is Perversion, which is an Urban Decay liner. 24/7, which means waterproof, so it's not going to come off. What I've done is I've just gone all into the waterline with this really intense black, and from the start of the eye to the finish, and I've smudged that out. So you want to smudge that out really quickly. You've got about 30 seconds to smudge that. After that time it's going to dry and you're not really going to be able to blend it out. So I've just taken my MAC 217 blending brush, and I've gone in with an inglot 366 shade, so it's a nice sort of peachy, and I've just taken that just underneath because I don't want anything too dark. You wouldn't want to go too intense. And then I've just taken a little bit of the darker blue shade and blended that through the corner. So as you can see, I'd already blended around the eye socket, so that was fine. It just needed a little bit of blending underneath. And now I'm going to pop on my lashes. Okay, so that is the look finished. I hope you've enjoyed watching it and find some inspiration and maybe even try and create it yourself. So I'm going to link everything down below. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a really good weekend. See you soon, guys. Bye.